What up, guys? Total Control 871. Alright, yeah, so do a little update here for Camp Evergreen. Pine needles have turned yellow. Change of the season. Alright, I'll start with the room update. I have grave concerns about the room. I began to feel like it was something of a bait and switch that was going on as I was speaking with the intake case manager. Excuse me, just gotta get my Joe. So I'm talking with the intake case manager, and just some kind of things start rolling out about the room. Suddenly, because I keep looking to find out how much is the rent. You know, for whatever reason, well, tip that over. For whatever reason, nobody seems to want to give me a concrete quote, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to hear terms like, well, because they are the mental health aspect of it. There is the treatment side, and there is the housing side. So the treatment side does not determine your rent. Okay, but I find it strange that suddenly terminology like 1/3 of your income seems to have completely evaporated. Nobody wants to say this again all of a sudden. Now it's being said that the landlord will put my disability paperwork, which I gave them, through a computer to tabulate my portion of rent. All you need is a calculator, okay? 33. How does the trick go? If you don't have a percentage calculator, you know, it's like 33 times zero. You know, it's your amount. It's your amount times. They don't need to put this through a calculator. That's what I'm saying. I have really bad math skills, but interestingly enough, when it comes to my money, apparently I know enough not to be taken advantage of. Suddenly everybody is shying away from this rent quote. Also, I've noticed some peculiar things. You guys remember roommate number 2, the loud and boisterous one? Okay. He was supposed to have returned home Tuesday, as in the day after I was gone. I find the return date kind of conspicuous and oddly timed, so it's almost as if somebody knew that he had a loud presence and wanted to remove him from the equation for the weekend. That's just a theory. Just a theory. I'm not committed to that. He did say that he was away helping a relative move. Okay. But anyway, when my case manager came to end the weekend visit, and she learned that, you know, roommate number 2 had returned early, there was a look of surprise and, dare I say, just a little bit worried on her face. You know, like, anyway, so I got feelings and suspicions of bait and switch going on right now. Trust me, I still got Camp Evergreen, baby. I know everybody's expressing all this concern about the winter. You are aware that I have lived in the woods in the dead of winter before, right? In a tent. Okay? It's not impossible. So, I don't know. Like I say, I got my Camp Evergreen here. Got the Black Rider. The case, the Albatross. It is difficult thinking about it. Very difficult. I don't think I can talk about the albatross today. I'm sorry. I am compartmentalizing as best that I possibly can. I'm trying to be as positive and optimistic about our room rental as I possibly can. But it is starting to look like a user situation is beginning to emerge. One of the things that I found peculiar about the intake process of this program is they have you sign an awful lot of forms. There's a lot of paperwork generated, names collected, social security number collected. You're signing for a lot of forms. They sent me home with some pantry food. It wasn't just simply, oh, grab a few things from the pantry. It was quantified. Paperwork was generated from it. The intake process, they wanted to fixate it revolves around they wanted to know about police tyranny, history of abuse, history of what they're calling mental illness. I want to talk about two different things here. All right, let me finish my thought about the paperwork. In other words, they want to generate a lot of paperwork. I got a strong feeling that weekend visit, I don't think it just simply goes for free. I think the state will be billed for it. I think they're going to be billed for everything right now. So as long as they have all of the, because remember now, I haven't accepted anything at all. Okay. And it's almost strange that they want to generate all this paperwork, generate all of this paper trail to be able to bill the state and federal government for what they've done for me thus far. So, and they probably are expecting me to turn it down when they unveil some big ass bill. I got a strange feeling that it is not going to be a third of my income, and that the utility is going to get rolled into it. Let me tell you about this utility. Those guys in there just leave the lights on round the fucking clock, okay? Especially roommate number one. Although I can't really speak too much for roommate number two other than what I've experienced thus far. Like roommate one, he even leaves the microwave door open with the light burning inside. You know, heat is humping so high that you have to keep your windows open, you know. Although it hasn't really gotten into the dead of winter yet, so that might change. Point is that these guys obviously, because they're not exactly paying directly for a utility bill, I got a strange feeling that their utility usage, it is indeed factored into their rent. I think they do pay a lot more. Suddenly, a terminology was thrown at me. Well, yeah, you pay between 30 and 40% for. Whoa! What's going on here? You know, I've been told a third up until now. So it's getting a little bait and switchy right now, and I'm being very cautious of that. And as you can see, I still have my camp Evergreen. This camp really comforts me. I can't begin to tell you that. I love this camp. Being in it seems to put me at ease. Don't get me wrong. There's harshities here. You know, it's a battle against the elements. You know, it's a battle against the elements. Treatment. As expected. This didn't surprise me. As expected, they definitely like to approach mental illness as the idiopathic thing that they have been trained to believe in school. This begins in college, okay? They are trained to think this way from their very first college course in mental health. No two ways about it. Let me see, what's my time, like 10? Okay, we're doing decent. And you know, the question she was asking me, she's definitely case building, looking for history of, meaning what's wrong with you is you, not your situation. It's definitely where they're going with that. She liked to pitch a lot of, she was like saying things to me like, don't you ever just want to talk about it? Don't you just want to, because talking about it, that can make you feel so much better. No. And frankly, the end of our intake visit seemed to confirm that, because I'm going to tell you right now, I felt that much worse. Having to pick these scabs, the intake process is re-victimization all over again. No two ways about it. Re-victimization. I didn't go with the He-Man sorceress analogy. I went with a trauma surgeon oncologist analogy. I said to her that if somebody with a gunshot wound or had been critically injured in an accident were brought to her and she were an oncologist, she might be able to alleviate some of the pain if she had some sort of a strong pain reliever laying around, like maybe vaulted up in the office. She might have some very minor surgical skills. If you were like spurting blood from somewhere, she might be able to suture an artery or two, maybe. I don't really know what because you got oncologists and then you got surgeons, but point is, the patient needs to be seen and treated by a trauma surgeon, not an oncologist, okay? What I am suffering from is a trauma, several traumas, okay? Her talk does nothing to treat a trauma, okay? She can do nothing to bring charges against the state troopers that abused me. She can do nothing to bring charges against the medical staff in the jail that abused me. This woman can do nothing for me. Nothing in these terms. All she wants to do is talk. I don't know, dear. Why don't you go find a book club where you and a bunch of white women can sit around with your cup of coffee and your overpriced lattes and you can fucking talk, all right? There's nothing you can do for me. Needless to say, the whole thing just kind of devolved. I mean, we weren't arguing. It was just simply me communicating to her that this is what's wrong with me. This is what could have fixed me. And this is what you're unable to do. So, basically, that, like all therapists, all they become is these biological Googles. I already know how to use Google. She's like, oh, well, maybe we can look into some legal services. Good luck with that. Maybe she can't. Maybe there is something that she might have access to. It's why I didn't tell her no. I told her that I am open to anything that can come my way, that can help me. I am definitely looking for the life preserver, for the lifesaver to be tossed overboard, because I am drowning fast. I am going down fast, and I am looking for everything that can save me at this time. If she can do something like that, then fine. But I'm sorry. Your talk, it does no good for me. I need something that I can take to the bank. I need something that I can bring before the judge, okay? And we all know, again, going back to our He-Man sorceress analogy, we all know you have no power outside of your little office. No power. Okay? So, my little sorceress therapist, turn back into your little bird and fly back to your fucking cage, okay? There's nothing that you can do for me. Alright? All of this sorrow and woe. And who am I kidding? There's nothing that can be done. I don't think the room is going to turn out well. I was trying to explain to her the flooding situation, and she goes, "Oh, well, no, we have a 24-hour number." Okay, I'm listening. "And you can call, and we'll have maintenance come out." Then she lost me immediately. I'm sorry. I'm confused. If I'm trapped outside of the home because the streets are flooded by the Atlantic Ocean, how is maintenance going to fix that? Because I'm like, you can't control the weather. You're talking about an entire fucking ocean, all right? The ocean's gonna go where the ocean wants to fucking go. And what she eventually had to admit, what she was talking about was, well, the maintenance can repair after the water goes away. The maintenance can fix what's wrong in the house. What's wrong with the house? While true, I don't want to live in a waterlogged home. That's true. But, look, sister, I'm not talking about your house, okay? Okay? That is what the fuck I'm talking about, alright? I need to make sure that my primary investment in life is fucking protected. You dig what I'm saying? You dig? Okay, so. Also, dollar matching. More caveats are starting to roll out about dollar matching. Apparently, unlike I had been originally told, it's not a dollar amount goal that you set. It is a time frame. They have time frames. They have a 3-month program, 6-month program, and a 1-year program for saving money. So I think it's time and dollar amount that is set, and you have to meet both of those. And she also said that there are different programs that have different rules, which tells me that it might not necessarily be dollar for dollar matching. All of these caveats, all of this bait and switch. Then you guys wonder why I'm so goddamn jaded and cynical. Dude, it's been nothing but fucking deception, okay? You want me to be more optimistic, more cheery, more upbeat, but frankly, this is what constantly comes before me. Okay? Alright, that's it. I'm still prepping Camp Evergreen for winter conversion. I'm not holding out a lot of hope about this room. There's just a lot of shit that can go wrong and probably will. Alright, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Total Control 871.